right?
You got the masks for face shield?
Yeah, you thought the masks were for your mouth. It's actually for your face. Hey, Donna.
No, you're the old one. That's the one he has on.
I think we're good. I think we're good to go. I think this looks like about 100 people. Got a few more? Oh, come on over here, guys. Got one chair over there if anybody wants it. Hey, Audrey.
Harry might bite.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started here. Thank you, everybody, for coming and getting together. The last time we got together, we were able to celebrate someone's birthday, Jackie's, on 2/20. But this week, I guess we get to give an early birthday to Mr. Grandpa Haugie over here. So, happy early birthday. Well, what a year to buy a business, huh? Wow. I'll be the first to admit when I bought the business and the pandemic started, I told a few people close to me, wow, this is really unfortunate timing, and I had a little bit of a woe is me attitude, and why now? Of all the years to buy a business, buy a business in the middle of a pandemic. But then as I got to thinking, and I listened to some podcasts. Actually, there was a podcast that really stood out to me, and there's a phrase that was shared that this business owner was trying to take the mentality that COVID and the pandemic was going to be the best thing that ever happened to them. And that really just flipped a light switch for me. So instead of having a woe is me attitude, why not embrace this? Because if I'm able to buy a business right now, literally like weeks before a pandemic started, and able to help successfully navigate through a pandemic with all of your help, obviously, I have to believe that really the best is yet to come, that the future is very bright, that if we can make it through this, that next year, the year after that, it's just going to get better and better. So I'm trying to take that approach, that really, what a year to buy a business. It's a great opportunity for me to learn and grow real quick, real fast. 277 days ago when we met on 2/20, I cast a vision for the company. And Corrine, since you're front row, I'm going to pick on you. What's the vision? You want to stand up and say it loud, say it proud?
No, now I have a blank.
Oh, you know it, Corrine. I know you do.
One team for...
Nope.
No.
Create a wow experience, right?
Okay, say it loud. Start over.
To create a wow experience for our
Community.
employees, community, and our customers.
Co-workers, community, and customers.
Oh, okay, we're getting close. We're getting close. Creating a wow experience for our team members, customers, and communities. Okay? We're close. We're close. Okay, well, who would be willing to stand up and say what our 3 core values are?
Hey, don't be just throwing me out here.
No, you had the first time.
Integrity,
Okay?
doing the right thing.
Nope. All right, Alex, let's hear from you.
Engage, one team, and integrity.
Perfect. Perfect. There you go, sir. Got yourself a... Got yourself a Papa Murphy's pizza. Okay, so I want to go over these real quick. So one team. The definition of one team in our core value is team player. Steps up to help other departments without being asked. Doesn't point fingers. Shows passion for the company vision and mission statements. Identifies ways to grow the company or become more lean. Works well with others. Encourages differences of opinion. willing to take calculated risks and to make suggestions as needed, has the knowledge to do the position and is willing to train or cross-train. So that's the definition of one team. The definition of engaged is has a good attitude and demeanor toward work and teammates, the and then some mentality, doing more than expected, eager to learn and grow and to embrace new challenges, empowered to make decisions in the best interest of our customers and company, produces at or above quality expectations, produces at or above productivity expectations. And then the last one, integrity, accepts responsibility for one's actions and decisions, trustworthy and with the company's best interests at heart, does the right thing when faced with multiple options, dependable, reliable, and punctual, holds oneself accountable, follows company policies, follows through on commitments and promises, and takes pride in one's work. So we recently took our engagement survey, right? And that survey is something that we've been doing for the last 6 years. And it's something that I take very seriously. Lori does a great job compiling all the information, putting it into nice graphs so that we can compare some year-over-year data. And I'll be honest with you, when when we were getting ready to roll out the survey, Lori and I were having a conversation. And I told Lori, I don't think the survey is going to be very good this year. I really don't. Here we are in the middle of the pandemic. Everybody's tensions and vibe maybe is just a little bit off, and we're in the middle of a wage freeze. And she said, Lori said, I think the opposite. I think some people are recognizing some of the changes that we're trying to implement, and I think that it's actually going to go okay. Well, Lori was right. I was wrong. The scores actually went up. In fact, they went up 5.1%, which is the highest increase we've had in any of the years that we've done the survey. And I'm really proud of that. But the part that I'm actually most proud of with the survey is the fact that we had one of the questions, the mission or purpose of my company makes me feel my job is important. That was the single question that went up the highest. It went up about 8%. And to me, what that tells me is that we're making some progress with our vision statement. We're making some progress with our core values, that we understand why we're here and what we're trying to accomplish. And to see that number and that survey question go up really stood out to me and made a big difference in my opinion. So to recap some of the highlights here from the last 277 days, first and foremost, our sales. Okay, we're at 95% of our sales from last year. And why that's important is because last year's sales for ESCO was a record year. And what a way to send Mark out, right? On his 40th year with the company with a record sales year. And here we are, again, in the middle of a pandemic at 95% of our sales from this past year. That's awesome. And you know what? Stein Sign Display is ahead of last year too. So we've got a lot to be proud of. In fact, someone shared this article with me here just the other day. It's from 1984, the Watertown Public Opinion. And it's kind of hard to see maybe from where you're at, but here we have a sign that was in the shop 36 years ago. It's a 17.5 foot tall by 40 foot wide or long sign with the sales manager at the time standing in front of it. And my understanding is that Kevin just sent me a picture that we just made a sign, Craig and Devin just made a sign that's 20 foot tall by 40 feet wide. And 36 years ago and fast forward to today, we've got a lot to be proud of. 95% of our sales from last year. The Friday before Memorial Day, I issued a half-day paid holiday. May, I think, is Mental Health Awareness Month, so everybody received a half-day paid that Friday before Memorial Day weekend, so we had a 3.5-day weekend. If you're contributing to the 401k, $40,000 was distributed to the 401k in that June-July time frame. And then we also gave back to the community in many different ways. We gave back with our Pay It Forward campaign that we did the 220s on 220. We actually built a sign for Access Ministries and hung it up on their wall for them. And then we continued with the many donations that we annually give each and every year. The PTO accrual rate for all full-time employees was increased by 1 day this past year. If you're in your first year of service with the company, your PTO accrual rate actually went up by 2 days this year. And last but not least, of course, Christmas Eve now is going to be a paid half-day holiday as well. So, I'm no math wizard, but if you add up a half day, and a full day, that's 2 extra days of paid time that the company has committed and honored through this whole pandemic. A lot of successes right there, in my opinion, okay? You're welcome, Barry. I'm going to keep it real with you, though, okay? The wage freeze is going to continue through the end of this fiscal year. My hope is that we can lift that at the end of this fiscal year, but I believe that it's the right decision, even though it's not necessarily a very popular decision. We're also not going to do the Turkey Day certificates like we've done in the past. It hurts me. That's one of my favorite things that we've done in the past, but we're not going to do it this year. And we're also not going to do the $50 Christmas cash gift card giveaway that Santa Kevin comes around and has handed out in years past. Because back on 2/20, when we first met, we had 16 cases of COVID in the United States. Today, we have 12 million. There's 250,000 deaths across the United States. If you look at the news, there's 180,000 businesses that have closed across the United States. 30,000 of those are retail, 30,000 of those are restaurants. That list and number is only going to increase. These are the end customers that we're talking about, okay? If the end customer and that supply diminishes, it's going to impact our customers, which will impact us. It would be naive to think that there won't be some trickle-down effect, because there will be. It has to. A survey in Brookings here just a couple of weeks ago said that 1 out of 4 businesses would actually have to close if conditions didn't change in the next 6 months. I have to imagine that those statistics are probably fairly similar for Watertown businesses too. The South Dakota Department of Labor said that back in April 2020 here, that there were 1,400 people that were laid off just in Watertown's area alone. 1,400 people. I didn't check the stats for Day County, but 1,400 people just in Watertown area. Not a single one of those from ESCO, by the way. Unemployment rate jumped from what was about 3% locally up to 14% locally. Now slowly that number is coming back down to where it was pre-pandemic level. Statewide, we're still at 4% for unemployment. Nationally, it's at 8%. And oh, by the way, we are still in the middle of a looming presidency. You know, we don't even know who our president is technically yet, as of right now. Odds are, it looks like there's going to be a change. And if that holds true, there will be some impacts to the company and to the business. I'm not going to get into politics, but according to Joe Biden's platform, the corporate tax rate is set to increase from 21% up to 28%. That's a 7% difference. And maybe that doesn't seem like much, but when you're talking about a business our size, we're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars in difference in taxes. And just the whole philosophy may change and shift here too. There may be a forced shutdown, there may be forced lockdowns. And again, if that happens, that's going to impact our business in some way, shape, or form. And again, while the wage freeze is not a popular decision, I felt as though it was the right decision then, and I still feel as though it's the right and most fair decision to keep it going through the end of the fiscal year. We've been very blessed with Effective Images orders. They had a record year last year. They're on pace to basically match what they did last year as well. Wholesale sales, you guys are doing an awesome job filling in the gaps and having a great time. You're hitting your goals most weeks, more times than not. Stein Sign Display the same. So I would like to just take a second and let's give these guys from the sales department, the sales team, a round of applause, because they're helping keep us afloat here. Okay. Now, sales team, all of you know that none of that would be possible, right, without the help of the production team, the design team, the support team, the engineering staff, the admin team, the list goes on and on. So can we give all the other folks a round of applause, sales team? Let's give those guys a round of applause. I have to keep asking, the what if questions, okay? That's what I have to do here. What happens if Effective Images slow down? What happens if these shutdowns and lockdowns take place? Okay, what happens if Simonson orders slow up or pull back, or the expansion slows down with Simonson? Those are the questions that I have to ask myself. And I used the phrase in my newsletter article a couple months ago, trying to balance the short-term successes that we're having with the long-term uncertainty that's out there. It's hard, but that's what I have to do. And most of the data that I'm reviewing shows that our quoting volume for ESCO is lower than it was last year. And as a result, the sales are a little bit lower than they were last year. We're still doing a great job, but the numbers reflect that. I've been told that some employees have said something to the effect of, well, when is the company going to stop using COVID as a reason to stop giving raises? And that hurts, honestly. Because of the things that I've committed to, that I've tried to change, and that I've tried to roll out and give back in the last 277 days. That's short-sighted, in my opinion. That's not thinking big picture of all the different variables that are real, and they're a reality for what we have to go through as a company. Again, I know that it's not a popular decision, but it's the right decision in the grand scheme of things, I believe. Lori can attest to this. On March 31st, the last day of our fiscal year, the afternoon of Tuesday, March 31st, Lori and I were on the phone, and I was this close to laying off some people. In hindsight, that's the best decision that I never made. Because, and I get goosebumps about it, because, here I am 50 days into my business ownership, having to debate a question that I didn't think I would have to face anytime soon. But ultimately made the decision not to, because I believe in all of you, I believe in me, that we're going to get through it. So while 1,400 other people locally lost their job, no one here did. And I'm sure glad that we have everybody here, because look how busy we are now, right? If the worst thing that happens to any of us here is to endure a temporary, and I want to stress temporary, wage freeze, then I'll be okay with that. I really will. Okay? Here's the good news. As you know, we've been busy, right? We've been busy. We're working overtime. We've got a backlog of orders, and we've got expectations from our customers that we have to meet their ship dates, and we've got a lot of overtime that we're working. One of the problems and challenges, though, that we're faced with is that here we are with the holidays, and we've got folks that have a lot of PTO that they need to use. So we need people here, but we've got people that have PTO. And so what I'm going to do is something that we've never done before, at least to my knowledge, and this will really only impact about a quarter of you, okay? There's 24 people here that have over 80 hours of PTO. And if you have over 80 hours of PTO, I'm going to make a one-time exception here where the company will buy back 40 hours of that PTO, and you'll receive that on this next paycheck, basically. Okay, so you just need to let Karna, let Heather know. If you have over 80 hours of PTO, just let Karna and Heather know, and we'll make that happen. The unscheduled policy still will be in effect, so make sure that you plan and manage it accordingly. But we need our people here, and I don't want people to lose their PTO, so that's why I'm doing this. We need our people here, but at the same time, I don't want people to lose PTO. If all 24 of those people elect to cash out their PTO, it'll be a one-time expense to the company of about $23,000. That's going to be what the cost will be. Okay. Now, I realize that that only impacts about a quarter of you. Crystal and I were out celebrating our 12-year anniversary at Dempsey's here last month. I like to think, how could it only be 12 years? And she says, it's only been 12? No. As we were sitting there at supper, and she was gazing into my beautiful hazel eyes, or maybe it was the other way around, I shared with her an idea, a big idea, in fact. And I wanted to get her thoughts and her input, because even though this is my company, I really view it as our company, and she needs to be aware of some of the crazy ideas I come up with. And so I shared it with her, and she said, you know what? Do it. So I'm going to do it. Amber, if you want to just stand up here for a second. Jessica, would you come up here, please?
It's going to be okay.
You don't. Yeah. Why don't you come on up here? That's fine. We've got the stairs. You can come on up.
Like, what are you doing?
Well,
I don't do well in front of a lot of people. I don't either.
well, I guess crash course. You get to try. So, all right. Why don't you open that up?
Open it.
Open it up.
Drum roll, is that what we need?
Yeah, it's too quiet. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of money. There's a lot. Do you want me to count it, or?
Sure.
How much is it?
I'm not good at counting either, just so you know. Oh my God, I'm just shaking.
You're shaking. I'm shaking.
I haven't played Power Keno in a long time.
And I hope you don't.
Yeah.
All right, you guys can go ahead and sit down. Thank you. Okay. So for those of you that read the newsletter, and I hope that it's all of you, one of the last questions in the newsletter is, what would you do if someone gave you $100,000, right? Well, spoiler alert, Garrett, where are you? Garrett's article is coming out this Wednesday, and just so you know, for the record, he would buy a llama or an emu. Well, I'm going to do that today, okay? Well, I'm not going to buy him a llama or an emu. But I'm going to do that today. I'm going to give away $100,000. Okay, I've never had $100,000, and I've also obviously never given away $100,000 either. But all of you will receive $1,000 today, okay? And technically, you're actually going to receive $1,082 grossed up on your paycheck, but the net that you're receiving in your hand today will be $1,000. I just want you to know how thankful I am for you guys. I mean, that's the bottom line. I just want you to know how thankful I am for you that you've made the choice to work here at ESCO. To whom much has been given, much is required. My faith is really important to me. And one of the questions that I ask myself is, what will
You got it, Stuart. Just think of yourself riding a llama or
what will I do with the people that God has sent to me? And the answer to that is, I just want to be a blessing. I just want to be a blessing to you guys.
Thank you.
You are.
So, here's my request to you guys. It's just tell our story, okay? Let your friends and family know what's happening here at ESCO. We've got a lot of good things going. We're blessed to be in a business that's tenured, that people want our product, they want our service, they're committed to us. Just tell our story, okay? Tell people what's happening here. Because I shared with you my vision back on 220 that ultimately what I'd really like to create here is I'd like to create a waiting list for people to join our company. And in order for us to grow, we need more people. And if you share our story, I'm confident that word's going to get out. I believe in what we're doing. I believe in the future, and I hope that you believe in me too. I hope that you guys have a great Thanksgiving. I know that I have a lot to be grateful for, and I hope that you guys have a fun and safe Thanksgiving week. It's definitely my favorite week of the year, and I hope that you're able to take this money and do with it whatever you want to do, except Power Keno. And that you get to have a great time with your family and enjoy the holidays here, okay? What I'd like to do is, Crystal, if you want to go and get the goods, should be on the receptionist desk here, hopefully, if, knock on wood, everything came to plan. Okay, so what I'd like to do, you guys, is first of all, I've got to remind myself, we do have our holiday party coming up on December 5th. Would love to have you guys join us if you can. I know that Corrine and Lori are doing everything that they can to make it a safe and fun event. We've been assured from 2nd Street Station that the tables are going to be spaced, that it can accommodate a large group. And so would love nothing more than to have the opportunity to celebrate a fun evening with all of you. But what I'd like to do, I guess in conclusion, is see if we can somehow arrange ourselves in alphabetical order by first name. That's how I've got all the money in envelopes lined out. And so I thought what we could do is start a line with A. Abby, I think you're literally the first one. So if you can start here, and we'll just kind of loop back that way. Crystal is actually going to get Dakota Butcher has some cinnamon rolls and caramel rolls. And so while she's serving up the food, I'll hand you the cash. Crystal and I kind of joked this morning, we're both handing out dough. She's handing out the food and I'm handing out the green stuff. So we'll just start a line, we'll go through here, you'll come in, you'll get your roll, get your money, and then head out the other side of the deco room and let's just work hard. Let's make up for the meeting time here this morning and have a great finish to our week and enjoy the holiday with your families. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.